And so, ladies and gentlemen, whoever is possibly watching this, we have now come to Super Bowl Sunday. And for the final time, I ask all of you, are you ready for some football? Before I get into that, I have a low and high dash of kindness, as I always do. So, my low is the fact that last night was a fairly late night for me. For a very good reason. That's my high. And that's because I picked up my parents from the airport. And also my act of kindness too. My act of kindness is the fact that I picked them up from the airport. But my high is the fact that they're home, safe and sound. That's what's most important. And just like me, my mom has also come down with something. And the fact that she was just flying right now, she probably has it worse than I do. So, I'm not alone in that regard. So happy Super Bowl Sunday, everyone. And I can't believe it. We are already here. I mean, 1 minute, I'm like jumping in front of this camera, saying, are you ready for some football? And now we're here. This season flew by fast. And I guess it also kind of helped that when I wasn't watching football, it was a pretty eventful time. You know, there was finishing up, going up. It was closing up Keuka Lake, weddings, holidays, birthdays, and as crazy and monotonous as that wound up being, whether it was good or bad, and I should probably be lucky and say, I am blessed to say that a lot of it really was good. But through the monotony of it all, football was there to sort of, I don't want to say escape me because that would imply that it would sort of be a counter argument to what I just said about a lot of those events being good. To sort of, I guess, take your mind off it. And I mean that in the best possible way. So, like many people out there, I am going to be, it's going to feel empty. It's going to feel really empty not talking about football or making picks for a while. And to make matters worse, you know, we're not even near spring yet. Which was another great reason why watching football was so good, because it helped take your mind off of how cold and, let's be real here, depressing winter can be. This is, you know what, here's how I feel about this. I don't feel quite as sad as, say, no longer going to Keuka Lake. But I'm definitely going to acknowledge something feels missing from here. And is that not what the NFL tends to always do when the season ends? And if you had told me that the Super Bowl matchup would be what we had today, I'd never believe you. Largely because I had Buffalo going to the Super Bowl this year. And especially when this really, I mean, listen, I'm not a full-on Buffalo fan, but I could acknowledge this was supposed to be the year. And that just wound up not happening. So, before I go and make any picks at all, I would like to say congratulations to both the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Both of those teams were more than worthy of being considered the quote-unquote last one standing. And they are. And the comparisons to both teams are actually quite shocking. They're both teams are 16-3. Both teams have scored like 546 points. They're both top 5 offenses. Both of their quarterbacks were nominated for MVP, which congratulations to Patrick Mahomes for winning the MVP. Not to mention, Andy Reid, who coaches the Chiefs, used to coach the Eagles. He's going up against his old team. Travis Kelce plays for the Chiefs. Jason Kelce plays for the Eagles. Brother versus brother. Oh, that household is going to be so divided after this game is over for a while. I really could go on and on as to how... And you know what? Here's another thing. First Super Bowl with 2 starting black quarterbacks. Never had that before until today. And I find it very appropriate that it's happening now because this is February. We are in Black History Month. So it's very appropriate indeed. I'm sorry, I have an itch in my nose this evening. I haven't seen it wrong. No, I don't. I thought I was about to sneeze, but looks like that's not happening. The more I go over in my head, why one team should win, the more I make a counter argument for the other. And keep in mind, even before I started making videos, and therefore I started making picks later, there have been plenty of Super Bowls where if you were to tell me that to pick between the two teams that were in the Super Bowl, I don't think I could have been able to pick one over the other because I like them both. Or if we're talking about when I was really young, I had no idea who was in the Super Bowl, so I couldn't tell you. So, this Super Bowl is obviously no exception when it comes to having a Super Bowl where I couldn't definitively be able to tell you who I want to win. Oh, I have a pick, don't worry, I'm going to be getting to that. The more I analyze it and the more I see it through, it very well could be down to whose quarterback is better. I mean, yeah, Patrick Mahomes did win the MVP, but there's more than one reason why Jalen Hurts was nominated. Even more reasons why he should have won. I don't think I've ever been in any kind of position where I've had to make a pick as conflicting as this one. Because it's no secret, I hate the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate them. I do. But man, I love me some Jalen Hurts. I do. And everything he's gone through from being the starting quarterback at Alabama and losing his job, and then tearing it up at Oklahoma, coming in second for the Heisman voting, losing to Joe Burrow twice, both in the Heisman voting and, the National Football Playoff, College Football Playoff. And the improvements that he's made all throughout this season are mind-boggling. If you were to tell me that the Eagles are going to be in the Super Bowl because of Jalen Hurts, well, you know what? Scratch that. I always thought, you know what? Skip Bayless himself said it best when he said, Philadelphia stole Jalen Hurts from the draft. They did. Jalen Hurts has legitimately changed life in Philadelphia. To the point where I actually find the Eagles a little bit intolerable. I hate them, but I find them tolerable. And it's also no secret that I am a firm believer in the curse of the MVP. For those of you who do not know, since Kurt Warner in the 1999 season, no player that has ever won the MVP has won the Super Bowl that same year. Funny enough, I was actually talking over that with the priest at the church I went to last night. I went to St. Mary Mother last night for a church. I was talking to the priest, and actually, before I continue, I gotta say, if you ever go to St. Mary Mother, you should for going to church, especially when it's during football season, because at the end of the service, the priest is like, "Let's all have fun watching the game tomorrow." What can I say? That's awesome. So, again, if you look it up, since 1999, no player that's ever won the MVP has won the Super Bowl that same year. Take a look at all 5 MVPs that Peyton Manning won. He didn't win the Super Bowl that year. In fact, the last time he won MVP, Seattle completely destroyed him. Or take a look at the 3 times that Tom Brady won the MVP. Both of them were the Giants Super Bowl losses. Or Matt Ryan, 28-3. Or Aaron Rodgers, he has 4, but the 2 back-to-back that he's won. He lost at home during the playoffs. Literally the last 22 years, the MVP curse has stayed strong. And now you're about to see why this pick is very conflicting for me. Because yes, Patrick Mahomes won the MVP. And there is a possibility that maybe he could break the curse. But this is one curse I've never taken lightly. For the last, I'd say 7 years, my slipper's falling off my foot. Hold on. There we go. For the last 4 or 5 years, I paid very close attention to the MVP curse. Believe me, it's real. It's only by the grace of God that Patrick Mahomes has actually made it this far. In fact, no kidding. The last player to win the MVP and make it to the Super Bowl was Tom Brady, when he then lost to the Eagles 5 years ago. And wouldn't you know it, the Eagles are here again. And Patrick Mahomes is now the second person to win the MVP. Is now the first person since Tom Brady to win the MVP and make it to the Super Bowl. However, I'm afraid that ride stops here. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I say unto all of you who could be watching right now, my pick for the Super Bowl is the Philadelphia Eagles. Straight up. I'm picking the Eagles to win. And yes, I know, there's a lot of people saying, well, when they played the 49ers, they didn't have a starting quarterback. Or Dallas was able to score 40 points on them in Philadelphia. True on both accounts. But you have to understand, even if Brock Purdy was able to play in that NFC Championship game, which still would have been an uphill battle. And as for my Dallas Cowboys, look, it's the Dallas Cowboys. We can't put it together during the playoffs. I recognize that now. I'm allowed to say that because I'm a fan. And here I don't really, obviously this year wouldn't have been any different. So, yeah. Congratulations, Patrick Mahomes. And congratulations to the NFL for giving Patrick Mahomes the MVP. And now as a Cowboys fan, I have to say, you poor, ignorant fools. You just gave the Philadelphia Eagles the Super Bowl. Okay. As a Cowboys fan, I felt like I had to get that part out. But here we are, man. 284 games ago, the NFL season began. Today makes game 285. It's been one fun ride. And one that I can't wait to happen all over again starting in August. However, we have to focus on the here and now. And here and now I say that the Philadelphia Eagles are winning the Super Bowl. I couldn't possibly tell you the score, nor do I ever want to keep bringing it up again because as a Cowboys fan, it physically pains me to say that. Seriously, I'm doing a good job hiding the pain. It is hurting me very deeply on the inside. It is cutting deep. That's how much it hates. Seriously, I could just, feel it. See, it's starting to hurt me even more. Do you understand? So, I'm just going to stop it there. Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl. That's the last time I'm saying that. I hope y'all liked this video. I hope y'all had fun watching football this year. I know I did. And if you did, leave a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I am very humble to make this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy today. And hope we have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, everyone. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. Always hear back. Take care and make good choices. And the last time we get to do it this way, 607 all day, baby.